It is another edition of the Agricultural Biotechnology Program, Agribiotech, where the focus is on the significance of biotechnology to agricultural development in Nigeria. I am Lara Afolayo. A few months ago, two genetically modified cotton varieties, which are the MRC 7377 BG2 and the MRC 7361 BG2, were approved for commercial release in Nigeria. These varieties have been made public by the Minister of Science and Technology, Ogbonnaya Onu, in Abuja. We will be seeing what went down at that event in the course of today's program. But at this point, we get to see how a pilot program of the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, IITA, is engaging youths in agriculture startups and productive agribusinesses in Africa, alongside other stories. The International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, IITA, has launched a pilot program to engage youths in agriculture startups and productive agribusinesses that will aid development in Africa. The program is with the support of the African Development Bank and is being implemented in 24 countries, including Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and Nigeria. The IITA believes in increasing the capacity of African universities to conduct agricultural research, and adequately support agricultural extension organizations can help improve yields. It as well feels capacity building projects should emphasize value chain research and development. Research shows that investing an extra $88 billion in agricultural research and development worldwide by the year 2050 could increase crop yields by 0.4% annually. The Ugandan government is aligning its fiscal plans with wider aspirations of the African Union and the African Development Bank that seek to achieve a self-sustaining, food-secure and modern economy for the member countries across the continent. The country's finance minister at an AFDB forum on industrializing Africa emphasized that developed nations add value to everything they produce, while developing nations export raw materials. He added that Africa must quit being at the bottom of the global value chain and move to rapidly industrialize with value addition to everything it produces. The finance minister added that no region of the world has moved to industrialized economy status without passing through the transformation of the agricultural sector. And so diversification is the outcome of well-planned policies for the structural transformation of economies. The first replicated field trials comparing genetically modified eggplant varieties with their non-GM counterparts in Bangladesh have confirmed that the BT gene confers almost total protection against this vital crop's most damaging pest. The field trials were carried out in the Bograd district of Bangladesh by a joint Bangladeshi-US team of researchers. The results are published in the open-source, peer-reviewed scientific journal known as PLOS ONE. Eggplant, known as brinjal in South Asia, is an economically and culturally important crop in the region. Its most severe insect pest is the eggplant fruit and shoot borer, which can cause up to 80% yield loss in Bangladesh. An entomologist with Cornell University, Anthony Shelton, says the study confirms with good statistical evidence that BT brinjal can indeed help reduce the dependence of Bangladeshi farmers on insecticides to protect their brinjal crop. Shelton is also the principal investigator for the $4.8 million three-year U.S. Agency for International Development grant that supports the Feed the Future South Asia Eggplant Improvement Partnership. As I said at the beginning of the program, there has been a public presentation of Nigeria's newly approved BT cotton varieties to the public. Let's see what happened at that event. A gathering of scientists at a public presentation of two newly approved genetically modified cotton varieties. They are the MRC 7377 BG2 and the MRC 7361 BG2. The two transgenic varieties are high-yielding and tolerant to the bollworm complex.
These are the most awaited products of technology adoption and deployment to meet the challenges of raw material in the textile industry. Why cotton, you may ask? The question is not far-fetched. With well over 180 million Nigerians needing textile for clothing and other products, cotton lint, a raw material for textile manufacturing, has been a major item on the Nigerian import list. Today, we can boast that we have set the stage for self-sufficiency in the production of cotton as an industrial raw material and subsequent transformation of the textile industry. Today's event is a clear indication that partnership works. A partnership between an administration that listens and scientists that are committed to meeting national needs using cutting-edge technologies. It is not hard to see that in the next few years, Nigeria will assume its place of pride in the global textile and garment industry. We can assure you that in addition to the commercialization of this important product, we are ready to put in place other measures to assist the farmers and the industry to maximize the benefits of introducing these varieties of transgenic hybrid cotton.
It has become increasingly necessary for us to dig deep into our understanding of nature and its complex interactions to develop technologies that provide solutions to the problems of our time. Fellow Nigerians, this is what our scientists in NAFDA, SOCNAGRAB, and IAR, in partnership with the global scientists, have done. Simply put, our scientists have worked hard and smart to integrate the benefits of genetic engineering into our local cotton varieties. We did not change the local advantages of our varieties. Instead, we have transformed these varieties that have unsustainably clothed us and supported our textile industry into competitive varieties to meet the challenges of today. Just like us, India and China are global examples and leaders in BT cotton deployment. Back home and within the continent, South Africa, Egypt, Burkina Faso, and Sudan lead the pack.
The BT cotton will allow Nigerian cotton farmers enjoy high yields, improved protection from the pink bollworm, early crop maturity, as well as reduced pesticide use.
In the past, you needed a lot of pesticides because this bollworm complex, it's a very it's a pest that you need to really fight very seriously. So you spend a lot of money buying pesticides. So now that money will no longer be used. So, and you see those pesticides also, they have a negative effect on the environment, even on the health of the person who is applying them. So the BT cotton will save you that problem, the health hazard for both human and animals. Then also giving your environment, a healthier, position, making your environment to be healthier because you are not pumping in so much, pesticide. They are you no longer need, need that, because you have worked on the gene to make it now resistant.
There is a lot of fear mongering. Oh, GMO, oh, we haven't seen any disaster yet. So, and if we wait forever, after 25 years, and we now sit here importing rice, sugar, cotton, milk, everybody else is advancing. We remain where we are. Every kobo we earn from oil is going out to import stuff in this place, including toothpicks. When are we going to be able to stop, save our currency from disappearing altogether, and improve the lives of you younger people? We old men have done our time. The problem is the way we are going, with our currency being devalued daily, almost, and we having to support it so that it doesn't go down. If you leave the naira to go to 1,000 to 1, and yet you are import dependent for everything. Apples, right? Fruit juice concentrate, grapes, everything is coming in shiploads. Now we're trying to limit that, and there are people who are not very happy with us. So the beauty of this is that farmers are definitely going to start making money from everything they touch. And all kinds of things can happen here if we apply science to agriculture. So something is changing, and science is helping. So we won't run away from BT cotton just because we are afraid. We Africans fear too much.
Scientists here say the BT cotton's benefit to the environment includes the reduction of greenhouse gases and mitigating the effects of global warming, minimizing toxic herbicides and conservation of soil fertility as well as natural resources.
We have labored under laboratory conditions to perfect solutions to the destructive effects of bollworm on our cotton farms and the associated low yield. The closest we got to success was the use of pesticides, but this had its own negative effects on the environment and also plagued the profit margin of the Nigerian cotton farmer. To generate yields at economically viable scales for the Nigerian farmer, it has become necessary for genetic engineering techniques to be integrated into crop production. Many great countries of the world have adopted various aspects of genetic engineering to meet challenges in crop production, health, and environment. Genetic engineering applied to agriculture is no different than the scan stock technology that predated other mid-level and even the high-level crop engineering technologies of our time. The difference is that with higher level precision, genetic engineering eliminates the trial and error incidences of the previous low precision biotechniques.
The BT cotton will allow for a 24% yield per acre through reduced pest damage and also allow for a 50% profit for farmers. Its deployment in Nigeria is expected to help revamp the textile industry as well as create jobs and wealth.
And these varieties are Mexico C567 BG2, which has a yield potential of about 4.4 tons per hectare seed cotton. Our present varieties maximally yield about 2 tons per hectare. So this variety has apparently doubled the yield of our present cotton varieties, the conventional cotton varieties. The second variety is Mexico C571 BG2, which also has a yield potential of 4.1 tons per hectare, and it has an advantage of early maturity. So it matures earlier than the first one, and as you can see, it has also doubled the yield of our present cotton varieties.
The improved seed varieties are now being presented at the gathering.
This cotton seed in India, 25% of edible oil in India comes from cotton seed. You have to take over.
Overtake China. You have to overtake China. I hope you have
we had the cotton mustard sample. People were
To the scientists here, Nigeria is transiting from relatively low-yielding conventional cotton seeds to revolutionary transgenic cotton seeds. The Science and Technology Authorities say they will continue to provide support to farmers and ensure that this transition process is smooth. At this point, we take a quick break. Stay with us.
Did you know that genetically modified organisms, GMOs, are safe and do not pose any risk, hazard or danger to human, animal and the environment? Neither do they cause cancer, infertility, sterility, tumor or any adversity. There is safe use of GMO drugs like insulin, vaccine, rapid diagnostic test kits for malaria, HIV, hepatitis and so on. The safety of GMOs is certified by the World Health Organization, WHO, Food and Agricultural Organization, FAO, European Food Safety Authority, EFSA, the National Academies of Science globally, the Royal Society, UK, and over 110 prize Nobel laureates. GMOs are safe, effective, and certified by MBMA in Nigeria.
This message is brought to you by the Nigeria chapter of the Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology (OFAB), supported by the National Biotechnology Development Agency (NABDA).
Nigeria's Minister of Science and Technology, Ogbonnaya Onu, is positive that the introduction of the BT cotton into Nigeria's farming system will go a long way in improving cotton and textile production in the country. We now bring you excerpts from his presentation at the BT cotton event.
We are very happy, exceptionally happy, to present to Nigerians and to the world the BT, these two varieties of BT cotton. And it's also important that this research was done with our own local variety of cotton. So this BT cotton, the two varieties, are arising from our own local cotton, and all their benefits have been preserved. And from every known scientific data, there is no, as of today, no known disadvantage. Because there is what is called the cry protein, which could be hazardous, but generally, if you if you touch this BT cotton, no, the genes on the body by contact, there is no effect. You have to ingest it. It has to be in your gut, and once it's in your gut, there must be receptors. But what has happened is that for human beings, our gut is acidic, unlike insects. So because our gut is acidic, so when, even if it's ingested, then, they will no longer, and they don't have those receptors that will help them bind and create the physiological changes that lead to death in insects. So we have looked at this because we must make sure that whatever we release to our farmers, whatever we release to the Nigerian market must be safe. It is our responsibility as government to secure Nigerian citizens. So safety is paramount to us. And we are happy that there is no scientific evidence, that shows otherwise. So this is essentially a win-win situation whereby we are going to more than double the yield by planting these two varieties. So you will improve on the yield, you will also improve on the tolerance. The bollworms that attack and devastate cotton fields will no longer do so because the BT cotton is resistant, to it.
Agriculture Minister Audu Ugbe also lent his voice to how the BT cotton could change the financial fortunes of farmers.
This release of this variety of cotton particularly cheers my heart. I was in Pakistan not too long ago, and I went to cotton farms, and the farmers said to me, we harvest 5 tons of cotton per hectare. And I'm aware here that sometimes we don't even do 1 ton. Not necessarily because of bad seeds, but also because of bad planting habits, agronomic practices, and so on. And I'm also aware that not too long ago, Nigeria was a cotton giant, a textile giant, and that the textile industry created millions of jobs. Whether in Kaduna, or Aba, or Kano, or Lagos, the textile mills played a major role. Then we fell out. And then smugglers took over. And we had Nigerian wrappers for women printed in China, or made in China were printed as made in Nigeria. And then we started losing lots of money to imports. We can blame every government that comes. Sometimes the cause of today's problems is something that happened 20, 30 years ago. And we didn't watch, we were not conscious enough. Importation of everything, from toothpicks to turbines, and textiles, and fruit juice concentrate, pencils, erasers, all of these have really created problems for you and I, and not only for now, but for the future.
And that brings us to the end of today's program. Send your emails to agribiotech1@yahoo.com. Send us tweets at agribiotech13 or post comments on the Facebook page Agribiotech on TVC. I am Lara Folain. Goodbye.